So I want to let this rock for a minute. Catch the vibe. If you feel it, just catch the vibe. This is good atmosphere, good energy today.
What can you do for me, boy? I cannot help it. I feel like a bird without a wing. I'm alone in my corner. You can say hi, just don't hold me when I cry.
Woo.
I know.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are ready. This is Close Up TV. A special thank you to STL TV. Today we have an amazing guest. I cannot wait for you guys to see and hear who we have today. First of all, I'll go by the name of Draco. Mago, what's up?
Hello. Oh my gosh. So when we tell you who this awesome person, you're like, okay, we hear all the hype, but just wait till you hear from who is the guest tonight on Close Up TV. Yes, the vibe. She's a whole vibe. And if you're not following her on Instagram yet, you're about to be like, how in the world? What? Draco, I'm so excited.
I'm trying to tell you. Now listen, her list of accomplishments, I promise you, we'll be talking for a couple of weeks. For real. So I try my best to sum it up as possible as I can. All right. So of course she was born in California, but she is from St. Louis, Missouri. You feel what I'm saying? She is from the crib. And I want to make sure that you guys know, not only is she an amazing singer and songwriter, bassist, folk musician. I promise to tell you guys when I say this is not to be taken lightly, okay? She has been on stages that some people wish they could be on. They dream to be on, you understand? She is going places that people wish they can go, you understand? She has been out of the country. She has been in the country. She has been in your homes, in your vibes. I just want you to know, okay? Without further ado, this is the incomparable, the amazing Miss Tonina. What's up, now?
Oh, thank y'all so much for having me.
How you feeling, Tonina?
I'm feeling good. How are y'all?
I'm good.
It's an honor to be here with you, honestly.
Yeah, I'm so
excited.
excited.
Gosh, you just, it's such a great feeling to see such young people that are just comfortable in their truth, comfortable with their style. And when I tell you, you can't even categorize your style in one word. Like I just love it. Oh my gosh, Draco.
I'm trying to tell you, when I was vibing, I've been vibing like for a minute. I'm a fan. First of all, let's just get that out the way. You feel what I'm saying? So
I'm a fan of both of y'all. Thank you.
Right.
It's an honor to sit here and conversate with you and really vibe with you face to face, as close as we can be. But I just want to say, to even kick it off with what you have going on, how are you feeling as far as the pandemic and the vibe that is going on right now in the world? I know we can get into your music and how it's definitely touching and healing in a lot of homes, but how are you feeling? How was your chakras? How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very difficult to not be able to play, to perform, to see my bandmates who are like my family. Those are like my brothers, so it's definitely difficult not being able to travel to new countries and perform, and have to cancel a tour, and not have the income, and a lot of people depend on me for their income, like my agents and my managers, so, and my band. So it's definitely very hard to live life not doing what you do. I don't know how to better explain it. It's it was really sad for a minute, and I still have like better days than others. But the summer is specifically super hard because that's when we're touring, that's when we're, living it up in different countries and stuff and meeting new people. So it was definitely an adjustment at first, but now we're just accepting it and, seeing what we can do with all this extra time.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's like, and then having to figure out a semi new normalcy, but still be able, because it's creatives, when we're not able to create, you're just kind of like, okay, like really, what is going on? Like,
Exactly.
and like speaking on in as in just yourself, like with this quarantine, what have you noticed that you amplified of when it comes to like self-care? Like, are you taking more detox baths because you have the time, or you know what I mean, like have you added more plants to your home because you are at home more? What have you added to your daily life?
Yeah, so I have definitely collected more plants. I'm a plant hoarder, but I feel like they keep me company. And then I've also been trying to meditate daily to, get out some of that anger in me because I'm a very angry person.
Uh-huh.
And that has just been exacerbated during this time of being stuck at home, seeing white supremacists on the internet, like
Mm,
all these triggers, that I'm dealing with, that we are dealing with, that the world is dealing
right.
with in different ways. Um, so I've definitely implemented meditation, and that has made me more calm for sure,
Mhm.
and has made me really do some internal cleansing and get out all those cobwebs that I've been letting build up over time. So it's
Right.
a good thing. I mean, we're figuring out things during this time that can make us better, and just improve our daily lives. And also cleaning. I've become like way more OCD than I have. It has manifested itself into cleaning, and that's therapeutic. I don't know about y'all,
No,
but
I was gonna tell you, I like rearranged my closet, my drawers, like
so
look, I
helpful,
arrange,
right?
yes, stuff I always wanted to do, but never had the time because I was always on the go.
And I'm Clorox
Literally,
wiping everything. I promise you. I clean like twice.
right. It's so nice. Like once your environment is like cleanly, and
Hmm.
it's just like not thrown around, um,
Yeah,
better environment. It makes you feel that like 1% better.
you're funny. No,
So yeah,
not
that's
2%, but 1%.
right.
So you
Exactly.
talked about how you are really bringing that self care to your own home. Now, shout out to you first of all for bringing awareness to impact. I see the link in your bio, and I see even from way back, you always managed to implement that with your music, whether it is to push that awareness when it comes to certain issues that are going on in our world right now. But how does that affect you when it comes to writing music, as far as making sure that agenda is pushed? Do you think about that when you're writing, or is it just more of a free flow about your experiences?
So I have never really been a person to like put my business in my music, but like this last album, I tried doing that, and that was super therapeutic for me. Um, but I feel as though it's a part of our music. I don't believe one can be an artist without being an activist, because you do have a platform, a heightened platform, more than just, the everyday person. So you have to do your part. And I think it's because I think that's important because my parents are way older than the typical parent my age. So my dad would be 76 and my mom is 69. So
Mm,
and I'm 25. And so I was kind of raised with their stories of coming up in a very segregated world, with Jim Crow laws. My dad got hosed in the street after coming back from Vietnam, and my mom's a white lady, so it's like their experiences were different. But the one music that brought them together was Motown, and so they were very knowledgeable about music, and my dad especially would tell me about these lyrics, like even though this is a happy, you know song like Smokey Robinson, Tears of a Clown, he's really talking about this, you know, or, you know, we really had deep conversations about the meaning behind music, and the meaning behind these lyrics that would make us so happy and make us dance, you know, and that brought people together. So I think that was something that subconsciously made me want to write about the bigger issues like outside of myself, and implement that into and put that into song, mainly for my older parents.
Mm.
That's really cool, you know, and that's something that a lot of people a lot of people don't realize that until they become older. Like, wait a minute, what am I singing in this song? Like, wait a minute, hold up. And the fact that you had that like your whole life, like that is a blessing, you know, and you
Yeah.
can tell your music, like there's good tears and there's tears that, you know, are sad tears. You bring those beautiful tears out when I listen to your music. Like,
Yeah.
my kids, like when we start winding down our evening and we start talking, like Draco was saying, your music is super therapeutic. I see why Obama put your music on his top playlist in 2018.
Thank you. And that's what I hope it can bring to some people, just some therapy and bring some calm into their lives more than, you know, it would normally have. So
Exactly. But it's like you also bring knowledge. So in addition to like the, you know, the music being therapeutic, it's like you walk away like, dang, I never looked at it that way. Or sometimes, you know how you'll think things, but you can't necessarily wrap it up and put it into words. It's just there. But
uh-huh.
it's like, you know, with you and music and your lyrics and the way you project your voice and your sound. I mean, everything is just so perfect. Like, I
Thank you.
can see how you've been into music at such a young age and study with great people. You can definitely see your talent.
Thank you.
Most definitely. And then like me getting back to the music, when it comes to you saying you opened up more this album, which I definitely hear and see. I mean, even with the past EPs, like the 3-song EP that you had, like Alone and records like that, I could see you starting to kind of like, okay, let me go ahead and dip in those waters and see how I can really allow my vulnerability to allow other people to heal. Because like certain records, like even like Mind Pop, with that record on this latest project, there are certain records that really hit home for me. Like, of course, St. Lawrence is just dope. It's just a vibe. But records like that with like Mind Pop, what are those? I'm curious. Is that a record that's specifically about your parents, or your thoughts about how you were feeling with your parents and things like that when you were in Boston when you wrote that, or?
Yeah, I'm happy that you like that song because many people don't talk about that
Yeah.
one, and that's actually one of my favorite songs on the record too. It's my least, I would say it's my most vulnerable song. So yeah, I wrote that song, yeah, when I was in Boston, studying, and I was just like not feeling like this songwriting class I was doing and didn't want to follow the rules and was like, I'm just gonna write a country song because I don't want to do this right now. So I wrote that song in like 5 minutes or something and made like very few tweaks, but that song just like really flowed out of me. And those are the songs that are my favorite because I have zero inhibitions. Like I'm not
Yeah.
focused on what I should be doing. But no, that song is about what if I was the one that was estranged from my parents because my father is estranged from me and my family right now. So I just wanted to see like what it would be like to be in his shoes but still be myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to play around with personification and also, you know, playing with characters and putting myself in other people's experiences and stuff. So that's what I tried to do with that song. And sometimes it's a hard song to perform, and sometimes, you know, it's a vibe and it's cool and I'm chilling and I don't get emotional. But there are times I'm very sensitive. So there are times where I'm like, I can't play this right now. We're not going to do this song. It's too much.
Thank you for being vulnerable, because that's a record I really vibe with. Like I said,
I'm happy you like it.
yeah, music is definitely like Megan knows, music definitely touches people's homes, and if it vibrates in a certain direction, like it can
Right.
resonate in a strong in a strong way. So I rock with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Like I will never forget. You know how you hear about artists and you learn about them and you like, yeah, they cool, they cool. But when I saw that press release come through my email and said that you were gonna be at the Four Seasons, I was like, oh my
yeah.
God, today is my day. I
Oh my
get
God.
to go. And like you, like I said, you are a whole vibe up there, you know, and it was just to be able to sit here and be with you and like we're all in the same age group and you're like making major moves, you know, like as Draco was mentioning, like there's a lot of people, like you said, who are speaking up about the social injustices that are going on, but this is what you live, this is what you breathe, and this is who you are. Now I have a question. So since you have been studying music since forever, now, was it hard for you to kind of find your way? Like, did you find yourself kind of sticking with like norm as in just kind of learning, or did you always like write your own music at such a super young age?
So yeah, it was definitely difficult for me to find my way musically,
Okay.
my own way. So
Right.
I was super into symphonic music. So I was in youth symphony in St. Louis and, loved playing classical and loved being with an orchestra. And just loved being a part of such a big group and producing such an amazing warm sound with all these different instruments. So it was when I was applying for colleges that I had to really make a decision, so I was going to different cities auditioning for these schools, for these music schools. And then I was playing, symphonic music and concert music. So I was playing the classical stuff, and I had one audition at Berkeley, and that was something that I wrote, and then also combining it with the classical stuff. So, I mean, I had always been writing, poetry and, and being in writing competitions in school and stuff. But it wasn't until I would say high school that I really tried to start combining the two, my poetry and in music. But it was, something that wasn't really encouraged from my teachers, because they saw my talent in symphonic music and didn't want me to lose that by going to the school that I chose to go to, which was more of a jazz school and more of a contemporary music school. So I decided to go with that school, and I'm happy that I did. And I honed in my songwriting skills. I made my best friends. I met my best friends, and had so many connections, and I'm so grateful that I went there. But you do have some regrets sometimes,
of course,
with dream stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm super grateful that I made the decision I made.
Yeah,
so you were like touring while you. Oh, I'm sorry, Draco. My bad. I was gonna say, okay, so wait a minute. Like, let's talk college. You were touring while you were in school at the same time?
Yeah, probably like my last 2 years of school. Yeah.
Wow.
But it wasn't with my group. I don't think. I'm not sure, but it wasn't with my group. It was with the schools, like higher ensembles or whatever. So I did have the opportunity to go to South America and go to Europe and stuff. So I'm super grateful for that. And yeah, it was awesome. So I did end up, discovering new places and stuff with at the college that I chose to go to. So.
And we
nice, got those stamps.
We just not gonna skate past the fact that she has 2 degrees while she was touring and trying to graduate.
Right.
Yes, 2 degrees. Can we clap it up for that?
That's what I'm saying. Bow down to that. For real.
Yes, degrees.
Most definitely. So you talked about going out of the country. Even when you were in Europe, and of course you had a chance to work with an amazing Grammy Award-winning producer. I'll let you tell the story, but How was that going out of the country? And was it your first time being out of the country when it came to your music?
As far as my music, yes. I had been, to different countries with like my parents and stuff, but for my actual work, no, that was my first time. So I lived in Spain for a semester and I studied abroad there, and I would go back, frequently. I was signed to this Grammy Award-winning producer's label. His name was Javier Limon, and he's a genius in the Latin world as far as like songwriting and producing. He's amazing, and he's won so many Grammys, and he's worked with several different artists. So I was super interested in working with him, and I'm happy that we vibed and stuff. But it came a time after my first record with him where we were just on different pages. I really didn't know myself. I was so young. I was like 20, and I was trying to be what was sellable to, to the label and sellable to people in Europe. And I forgot about myself, and I really didn't have the artistic freedom that I wanted. And my image was talked about in a way that I wasn't comfortable with. So I decided to part ways with him. And that was very difficult, but I think it was the best decision for me because of if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't be signed to the label that I am now and have full artistic control in my team and stuff. So while that was super difficult for me, I do believe it was the best decision for me. But I learned a lot through that process, and I'm grateful I made that mistake when I was younger and not, older. So it was an experience for sure.
Count it all joy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Count it all joy. Like you said, you learn through that process. So you can even count that as a blessing to some degree,
Sure, absolutely.
So, I mean, when it comes to, when you were out of the country, you were doing your thing. And when you came back, of course, you said that you were able to give more of you. So when it comes to that, how is that process with you being, I'm not even gonna say bilingual, trilingual, because you're not only speaking English, of course, you have Sicilian descent, and you're giving the Spanish vibes as well. So I'm trying to understand how you are able to balance all of that when it comes to you writing music and being such well-rounded when it comes to different languages.
Right.
Well, I think it's helpful because of my team. So one of my best friends and my business partner and my saxophone player, his name is David Gomez, and he is from Panama. So he's Afro-Latino from Panama. So it's super important for me that I have him involved in the majority of the musical decisions that I make, and we collaborate on a lot of music that we put out. So I think it's important that my team is well-rounded and, represents me as well. So, it's one of those things where even though I'm not Afro-Latina, I speak Spanish, and also like I'm Afro-European, so it's like, so it's like, I have this in my blood and in my DNA, in my heart, like this music from my mom's island, from Sicily. And, I was heavily influenced by this music. So I want to pay homage to that. And I want to make my music be accessible to a lot of people, whether that's in English, Italian, Sicilian, or Spanish.
Yeah.
So I think it's super important. And I think, many artists don't really care about that. And even artists from different countries, English is, the colonists' language.
Yeah.
Right.
But the colonizers' language. So that is something that people strive for. But I think it's super important that we also strive to make music in other languages and, really, really be careful with what we're saying and say it the way that you want to, in a way that is accessible to people.
I think that's a really great point, because think about how many times we all are saying the same thing, but we're like, we just all said it the wrong way. And sometimes, we get misunderstood. But with you have the same universal language, which is respect and love and peace and everything else that comes in there. And so with you being, well, you're right. But, at the same time, you have that other side. I'm a Scorpio, trust and believe. I know what you mean, okay? There's balance. You got to have balance, right?
Right, absolutely.
But at the same time, it's like being able, like you said, to how Draco had touched light on, to with being able to have all the different languages all come together, which is still overall with your artistry is like super bomb. Because you're right. You don't see many artists that do that. Shout out to Selena, like.
Right. This one,
listen,
you doggone right. That's good.
Love her.
I know. So we know the direction that you've been going in. And yes, with the pandemic, it does kind of slow people down, but it's not the end of the world. You get what I mean? It's just slowed down. Like, I know you are definitely looking forward to when the world opened back up, like hitting the pavement, running. You probably already got your luggage already packed, ready to go somewhere.
Girl, have savings for the flights, honey.
Like, I know.
Say luggage. Where Chauncey at? Where is Chauncey? Is Chauncey?
Chauncey is sleeping in his corner. Yeah. No, yeah. Chauncey he's my best friend, but yeah, he's definitely coming with me when the borders open up. So I got to get out of here. It's very tough, and it's emotionally taxing. To be in the same environment, especially if your environment isn't like always the safest, as like Black people were used to that, so I think it's extra important that we, take those vacations and take those mental health breaks and days, because, it's tough. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to cuss here?
No, you're okay. You do you.
It's tough.
But it's tough, and it's important to reward yourself for surviving and for being here. It's radical to be happy, as people of color. So as much self-care you can give yourself and then take those vacations, it's so worth it.
Yeah, it is. Even if it's a staycation, like, because like I said, your social media, you be really living. Like, you make the best out of whatever. And that's what I know. That's what we got to. That's all we can do right now. Girl. So are you planning any kind of like virtual tour coming up? What can we expect? Because we don't know how long this pandemic is going on. And I'm going to be honest, I really want to see you out in person, girl.
Well, I have one show coming up.
Okay.
It's September 18th and the 19th at Old Rock House here in St. Louis. It's going to be our first live show. And it's completely socially distanced, very similar to Dave Chappelle's special. I don't know if you saw it, but he had 2 chairs next to each other and then 6 feet away. Masks available, hand sanitizer, all that good stuff. So it's going to be a very socially distanced show, and it's going to be live at Old Rock House. So we only have like a couple tickets left, but yeah, we're looking forward to that. And as far as a tour, nothing is planned right now. I don't feel comfortable giving people or selling tickets for my bedroom. I want to give people the full experience. Like, I'm not going to charge people to see me, strumming and practicing in my room. So,
well, I feel that.
You're giving them the anticipation with the record that's out. You got, of course, you have.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind watching you on YouTube. Yeah. I don't.
You have your project out. St. Loss is going crazy. The whole project is going crazy. And of course, Papaya, I mean, like I said, just going back to your skill set with the languages, I promise you, Papaya is a vibe within itself. You're going to make me go really learn and try to refresh my memory on a lot of these.
You should.
I need to know that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can learn so many different languages via music. You know, just look up these lyrics and, you know, say these phrases out loud. It's the best teacher. So you can do it for sure.
I got you.
Right. Yes.
So real quick, I want to make sure we know who you are. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who you are, but we want to make sure they stay connected with you, okay? By the way, we will be connecting with you after this is over. Social media, we make sure we check up on you, but how can they keep in contact? How can our viewers and our listeners keep in contact with you?
Yeah, so I'm most active on Instagram at I am Tonina. And you can also catch me on any DSPs. So Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, whichever you prefer, Amazon Prime, Amazon Music, I don't know what it is, but you can find me on all those good things. So